Why you should not learn English. Why should I even bother with English? Mia often mused, staring at her dusty grammar books. The endless rules and confusing tenses felt like an insurmountable mountain. It seemed a tedious, pointless endeavor for her quiet life. She wondered if the effort was truly worth it, questioning the pervasive societal pressure to master a foreign tongue. She believed her native language was sufficient for all her daily needs and comfortable interactions. The idea of structured English study, with its rigid curriculum, felt utterly unappealing and distant. There are so many other more interesting things to learn, she would sigh, dismissing the language as an unnecessary burden on her precious time. Mia often heard friends lamenting their struggles, endless hours spent memorizing vocabulary lists and conjugating verbs. They seemed to get nowhere, still stumbling when attempting to form a simple sentence. This reinforced her belief that perhaps English was simply not for everyone, certainly not for her. One afternoon, seeking solace in the local park, Mia overheard a fascinating conversation. An old man, with kind eyes and a warm smile, was speaking effortlessly with tourists. His English wasn't perfect, yet he communicated with such natural ease and joyful connection. Intrigued, Mia found herself drawn closer. The old man, noticing her presence, turned to her. "Are you curious about how people speak English so freely?" he asked, his voice gentle. Mia nodded, surprised he'd noticed her quiet observation. "Many believe they should not learn English in the conventional way," he began, "but rather embrace it as a living, breathing entity. My method is simple. English study plain for talking, not just for testing." Mia was perplexed yet captivated. He explained that true mastery wasn't about perfect grammar, but about communication. "Forget the textbooks for a while," he advised. "Your English study plain for talking must be built on real human interaction, not just abstract rules. This is how to learn English effectively. How people speak English naturally involves listening and practicing constantly," he continued. "You must immerse yourself. Listen to stories, listen to conversations, listen to songs. Your ears are the most important tools in this journey." Mia began to consider his words. He spoke of how to learn English through immersion, not just rote memorization. It was a radical idea to Mia, who had only known the rigid confines of classrooms. He urged her to observe how people speak English in everyday situations, noticing rhythm and intonation. Mia, though skeptical, decided to try. She began to listen and practice actively. Instead of grammar exercises, she started listening to simple English podcasts, focusing on understanding the general meaning rather than every single word. It was a refreshing change. She found herself drawn to learn English through stories. Online, she discovered short, engaging narratives designed for learners. The plots captivated her, and she started to unconsciously absorb sentence structures and common phrases. This felt like play, not study. The old man had emphasized why you must listen. Mia now understood. Listening built her intuition for the language. It allowed her brain to recognize patterns and absorb pronunciation naturally, without the pressure of having to speak immediately or perfectly. Gradually, she noticed subtle shifts. Words she heard in stories would pop up in her thoughts. Phrases started to make sense without conscious translation. Her comprehension was improving, not through effortful study, but through joyful engagement and curiosity. The old man, whom she now called Master Ling, encouraged her next step, English talking practice. Mia's heart pounded. "But I don't know how to speak with people yet," she protested, remembering her past awkward attempts and a fear of making mistakes. "You must start small," Master Ling insisted. "The goal of English talking practice is not perfection, but participation. Think of it as a game. Your English study plane for talking needs flight hours, not just blueprints." Mia took a deep breath. He taught her simple phrases for everyday interactions. How to speak with people begins with basic greetings, ordering coffee, asking for directions. He encouraged her to imagine scenarios and practice them aloud, even if just to herself in a quiet room. Mia started whispering sentences to her reflection. It felt silly, but also liberating. She was taking her first tentative steps towards English talking practice, building confidence one whispered phrase at a time. The fear was still there, but less paralyzing. Master Ling then introduced the concept of how to talk to people in pairs. He explained that peer-to-peer conversation was incredibly effective for building fluency and reducing anxiety. Finding a partner who was also learning was ideal, he suggested. He introduced her to Leo, another student eager for English talking practice. Leo was at a similar level, and their first few sessions were awkward, filled with long pauses and nervous laughter. But Master Ling encouraged them to persist. Their English talking practice sessions became a ritual. They would meet in the park, discussing the stories Mia had been reading, or simply describing their day. It wasn't about perfect grammar, it was about how to speak with people authentically. They focused on conveying meaning, even if it meant using gestures or simpler words. This raw, imperfect communication was far more effective than trying to construct flawless, textbook sentences. It was truly an English study plane for talking in action. Mia learned that how people speak English varies greatly. Leo, from a different region, had a slightly different accent. This taught her adaptability in listening and understanding diverse pronunciations, a crucial part of becoming truly conversational. Through their How to Talk to People in Pairs exercises, Mia started to notice patterns in conversational English. Phrases like, you know, I mean, and that kind of became familiar, sounding natural when she heard them from native speakers. The stories Mia continued to read provided a rich source of vocabulary and context for their discussions. Learn English through stories was proving to be an indispensable tool for their English talking practice, making conversations more engaging. Her confidence grew with each session. The initial fear of how to speak with people began to dissipate. She realized that most people were patient and encouraging, genuinely interested in understanding her, not judging her linguistic imperfections. One day, Mia found herself ordering coffee at a busy cafe, not just using pre-rehearsed phrases, but responding to the barista's casual questions. It was a small interaction, but a monumental leap in her personal English talking practice. She even managed to share a brief, spontaneous laugh with the barista over a spilled sugar packet. It felt effortless, natural. This was how to speak with people in the real world, not in a classroom simulation. The joy was immense. Her English study plane for talking was soaring. She realized that the initial thought, why you should not learn English, was fundamentally flawed. It wasn't about avoiding the language, but about avoiding the wrong way of learning it. Mia embraced the philosophy, English study plane for talking. Every interaction, every story, every shared laugh became part of her learning. She was no longer a student confined to books, but a communicator exploring a new world. She started to actively seek out opportunities for English talking practice. She joined an international book club, where discussions were lively and diverse. She found joy in expressing her opinions and understanding others. The initial discomfort of how to speak with people transformed into eager anticipation. Each conversation was a chance to refine her listening skills and expand her fluency. She was building genuine connections, not just sentences. Mia discovered that how people speak English is often informal, full of idioms and slang. By listening and practicing authentic materials, she gradually began to pick up these nuances, making her own speech sound more natural. The importance of why you must listen became clearer than ever. Listening wasn't passive, it was an active process of absorbing, analyzing, and internalizing the rhythm and flow of the language, preparing her for responsive speech. She realized that learn English through stories wasn't just for vocabulary. Stories provided context, cultural insights, and emotional resonance, making the language feel alive and relatable, far beyond mere grammatical structures. Mia's journey became an inspiration to others who had also felt burdened by traditional English learning. She shared Master Ling's wisdom. The English study plane for talking was about connection, not just correctness. She encouraged them to engage in English talking practice daily, even if it was just talking to themselves or narrating their thoughts. The key was consistent, low-pressure exposure to the language in a communicative context. For those wondering how to learn English, Mia's advice was simple: prioritize speaking and listening. Don't fear mistakes, they are stepping stones. Find a partner for how to talk to people in pairs and embrace the imperfection. She emphasized the joy of learn English through stories, suggesting a wide range of genres to keep interest high. From mysteries to romances, stories provided endless opportunities for vocabulary acquisition and cultural immersion. Mia now understood why you must listen so intently. It was the foundation of understanding different accents, varying speeds, and the subtle emotional cues embedded in spoken language. Listening built the intuition for response. Her transformation was profound. From someone who believed why you should not learn English in her despair, she became an ardent advocate for its power. English was no longer a chore, it was a vibrant tool for connecting with the world. Her English study plane for talking was now fully operational, carrying her to new conversational heights. She could confidently articulate her thoughts, debate ideas, and share personal anecdotes, all in English. The fear of how to speak with people had completely vanished, replaced by genuine curiosity and excitement. Every interaction was an adventure, a chance to learn more about the language and the people who spoke it. Mia's approach to English talking practice was holistic. She listened to music, watched films without subtitles, and sought out diverse communities online, exposing herself to how people speak English in its myriad forms. She found that the more she engaged, the more natural her speech became. Phrases flowed without conscious effort, a testament to the power of consistent listen and practice and an emphasis on functional communication. Mia's life expanded exponentially. New friendships blossomed across continents. Travel became richer, as she could navigate new places and cultures with ease, truly understanding how to speak with people beyond basic phrases. The initial thought, why you should not learn English, now seemed utterly foreign to her. She saw English as a bridge, a key that unlocked countless opportunities for personal growth and global understanding. Her story became a living example of how to learn English, not through rigid rules, but through authentic engagement. It was a testament to the idea that language is best acquired when it serves a real purpose: communication. Mia often reflected on Master Ling's words, "Your English study plane for talking will take you anywhere you wish to go." And it truly had. Her journey was proof that the right approach makes all the difference. She continued to learn English through stories, discovering new worlds with every narrative. The joy of reading in English was as fulfilling as the joy of speaking it, a continuous loop of learning and discovery. Mia now champions the idea that true fluency comes from embracing the messy, imperfect process of English talking practice. It's about taking risks, making mistakes, and constantly refining one's ability to express. Her journey underscored why you must listen with an open mind and a curious ear. Listening is the silent partner in speaking, informing and shaping one's ability to communicate effectively and naturally. She often advised others, don't overthink how to speak with people. Just speak. Begin with simple exchanges, build your confidence through how to talk to people in pairs, and watch your voice emerge. Mia's unique path, from skepticism to eloquence, proved that the best English study plane for talking isn't found in classrooms, but in the vibrant, unpredictable tapestry of real-life conversations and shared experiences.